So Patrick on the class, good job. Welcome to everybody that's come in tonight. Good to see you. And today with Mark, because he's over in the States, so that's good. Patrick Gufumen ha female. Welcome to sounds that are useful. Fumen. There are only 18 letters of the English alphabet in Gaelic. J to Z, these ones there, do not exist. A, O and U are our broad vowels, lehel. I and D are the slender vowels, cool. Mar exemplar, for example. Mar exemplar. Fiona, can you try it on your own?
Mar exemplar.
That's it. Mark?
Mar exemplar.
John?
Mar exemplar.
Jeanette? Pauline?
Mar exemplar.
Exemplar. Greva. So this is to explain to you. So a gaichar, as you see, a gaichar, that last sound sounds like R, A-R-R, but you see there's an E there, and the reason that's there because the I is the last vowel that you've seen. So even though there are 4 consonants in between that, the E becomes the next vowel. This is the slender vowel, so you have to have that in the spelling. Ua vasoch. A to the A to the A. Llanich is, Lavasach means awful if you want to know the translations of them. Llanich is I bought something. Llanich is past tense to buy. Llanich, you're just hearing the ICH sound, but there's an A as your last vowel before the double consonant there. So you've got to have A-N-N-A, then ICH. Fírinjoch is toothful. Fíring, and then I. Again, the sounds like fírinjoch, sounds like A-H-C-C-H, but because you've got the I, N-N, then you have I-N-N-E-A-C-H. Pusanoch, Americanoch. Now that's a cracker, that one. Pusanoch Americanoch means a Native American. Americanoch. So you've got the U to the A to the A. Then you've got the I to the E. The I to the E. The A to the A to the A. That's why Gaelic's interesting. Alavan Inshanoch. Alavan Inshanoch is, anybody know? It's an Indian elephant. so Alavan Inshanoch. And the Alavan, again, the van is the sound at the end, but you have the I and the E. Now this E, that E will not sound, but you have to have it in the spelling because the last vowel is a slender vowel, then you have to L in your BH, and then you have E after it. Inshanoch, E-A-N-A-C-H. So broad, broad, slender, slender. But that doesn't always happen. Sorry, Mark, you're asking a question?
I am. What would happen in that word alavan, elephant, I guess? If I spelled alavan without the I after the A, and without the E before the A, and I satisfied the rule about all the broad vowels happening where they have to happen, the pronunciation would be the same. It would still be alavan, right?
Yes, it would still be the same.
Then why the heck do we have those I's and E's all over the place if they don't?
Well, I'll bet you there'll be hundreds and thousands of people who would like to ask you that question, answer that question for you. That's the way the language is constructed.
Was there a time when it was necessary to put that I near that L to give it some type of soft sound that we just don't hear anymore today?
Yes, yes. It's probably for the softness of the sound and make the language flow, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
It can't just be random. I'm trying to.
It's not definitely not random, but it's amazing how if you don't explain to people that that's a rule, and sometimes people forget to give them that example. You're wondering, as you ask there, why are there so many letters in the words?
Yeah,
But,
it's I still look at Gaichar, and sometimes my brain still will freeze up just by looking at all those letters.
Your brain will freeze out once you go further in. But I mean, this is what makes Gaelic really such fun, I think, in my opinion. But I might be.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Now today, though, what's happened is we have a closing down of the language, a bit of diluting of the language nowadays. And so the days of the week become, originally was DI-LUAIN. Now they've taken the hyphen away and you have Juluan. So that doesn't conform to Cool, Lehin, Lehin. Okay. Again, it probably sounds just as it's read.
Myrid, could I ask something about your Uavasach and all these ones that end in ACH? You pronounce them Uavasach?
Yes.
So ACH is Och and not Ach.
That's right.
And what is Ach in Gaelic? Is it AGH?
If it starts on its own, ACH, Ach is but. If the vowel starts at the beginning, if the A starts at the beginning, like Ua, Vasoch. I've got an example of that as we go further down in the lesson to explain to you about that. But that's well noted, that's fine. That's exactly what it's all about. Your sounds, that's what happens. And as I say, Gaichar, that A is like Gaichar, not A Gaichar. Gaichar. Okay, so the grave accent, we used to have an acute accent, but that's been taken away. And now we only have the grave accent, which is a strak raum, which is a heavy stroke, which is, as you see, so I've just put them down as A, O, and U being the broad vowels, and I and D. So majority of the vowels have a strak. Now we come to lenition. L, N, R, S, G, S, M, S, P, S, T do not lenite. So any words that begin with any of these letters, they don't lenite at all. Lenite, what does lenite mean? Lenition. It used to be aspiration, I remember it being called at one time. Now they prefer to call it lenition, which means you're softening. It comes from the Latin. It comes from softening or weakening some consonants. So there are 9 lentable consonants in Gaelic. So we've got, and all of your vowels you don't lenite as well. Okay, so all of your vowels and LNR, think of the word liner, that might help you, I don't know. SGMS, SMP, you'll find your own way of learning these. So we've got B as in English. So, but elsewhere you have a P sound in it. So here we have the word bate. Bate, and the next word there looks the same, but one has a strak on it and the other doesn't. So bate and bachte. Make sure when you have a grave, it's long. So I want, Mark, I want you to say the 2 words together and see if you have the difference in the sound.
Okay. Bachte, bachte.
That's it. Pauline?
Bata, bata,
Bachte.
bata.
There's a sound of an itch in between that T, but in the first before that T. So it's bate
Bata,
and bachte.
bata.
Say your T like a th.
Okay.
Bachte.
Bata,
Bachte.
bata.
You really have to use everything that's happening. In English, we're very lazy using our tongue and everything. We would become lazy. Gaelic, you can't be. I won't allow you to be. Put it that way. Apid, that B is like a P. Apid. And gup, like a P. Gup. How many times have you said in Glasgow, shut your gob? Shut your beak, okay? Gup is a beak in Gaelic. That's where that's originated from. Now with lenition, the B then become BH, adding the itch to something. the sound becomes like a V. So in previous, we've had breekish for trousers. So when it becomes mine, yours, or his trousers, you go mo, do, or and then you say breekish. Mo, breekish, do, breekish, breekish. My trousers, your trousers, his trousers. So anything that is personal like that, the mine, your, and his. But then when you go to her and the plural, it becomes breekish. It changes, but it's only in mine or yours or his at the moment. We change that. C as in car. Elsewhere, it's like as if you're clearing your throat. So ku, ko, achke. Ku, ko, achke. John, ku, ko,
Achka.
that's it, well done. Fiona,
Hu, ko, achke.
well done. Bleva. Mark, you try that, because this I don't know how you'll find this sound. Is quite common with Scottish people, but let's hear it from you.
U, ko, achke.
Well done. Yeah, Bleva, well done. So C is as in loch, which is a very Scottish guttural sound, so loch. So cote then is your coat, and then my coat becomes mo chote. Mo chote. Pauline?
Quarter. No, sorry. Quarter. More quarter.
Yeah. See, your letter T, it's as if you're going to say the. Cote.
More quarter.
That's it. Cote. Fiona?
Cotter.
Cote. Not cote. It's not an English T. It's cote. Cote.
Cotter.
Cote. D, as in English, with the word drew, but it's also like again like this, as if you were saying the dresse, at, do. So dresse, at, do. Fiona.
Dresser, at, do.
Do. Mm-hmm. John.
Dressa at do.
Leva, well done. Mark.
Dresse, at, do.
Leva, well done. Pauline.
Dresser at do.
Leva, well done. That's nice smashing. Right. So then your D lenited becomes DH, but it sounds like G. It sounds like a soft G. So dresse, then my dress becomes mo gresse.
Dresser.
Dresse, then mo gresse. Give it a go, Mark.
All right, this shouldn't be hard because this is just like a French R in a way. So dresse, maugresse.
Maugresse, Gleva, yeah. And then John, Fiaca.
Dressa, maugressa.
Maugresse, Gleva. But the DH lenition sounds like a Y when you have it next to a slender vowel, I or E. So this word here becomes ye and ye. Ye, ye. They're quite easy, I would say. F, as in English, fatte, für. Fatte is long and für is cold. So when you say something is so long, you say go fatte, so cold, go für. But FH lenites and the sound disappears completely. When you say it's too long, ro, ate. FH completely disappears. So ro ate. Mark, you'll be asking me why is it there at all? I suppose.
I'm thinking it must, maybe there's some places where they used to say something and that's why they still write
Yeah.
something. Maybe.
Way back, I suppose that's how it. I always say, you know, when it comes up this, and people say to me, "Why is this?" I said, "Oh well, it's this drunk man maybe said to himself one day, we'll just change it and we'll make them work harder." So I don't know how it comes about. John, you asking a question?
Can I ask? Yeah, you quite often will say to us that when you get two words and one ends in a vowel and the second one begins with a vowel, there's you something sticking a T in there. So ro ada.
The D is like a T. Your D is like T all the time. You're softening the D sound.
Yeah, but you've got two vowel sounds together. Ro,
Yep.
ro ada.
So the A is an A, the first one, and the next one is an
Yeah, ro ada.
Ro ate. Yeah.
But why do you have two vowel sounds together?
Well, that's the way the language is constructed. You know, Casan is Casan, so it becomes Casan, but it's both A's. Casan. So the sounds, it's just that the sounds of the vowels change at times, and you just have to go along with that's the way the language is constructed.
Okay, yeah, good.
I don't find a rhyme or reason to that, but you just have to learn that the first A will be a harder A, and then the next A is like an
Yeah, I was thinking about that, and then I thought about how nutty English is constructed.
Yes, I know.
Fair enough.
It's just that we've accepted what English is because we brought up with it, and you just accept it. You know, that's it. Yeah. Now you're just standing something completely new to yourself, to you, and we just have to go along with the sounds. That's the way the language is formed. So fuer becomes ro ur. Again, this FH has disappeared. It's silent. When the kids learn in school, it goes like this. Don't say FH. All right. So gle is another modifier, very. So gle ate and gle ur. Okay. So your FH completely disappears. But this is Gaelic. So ach. There are three sounds still with FH, but the sounds start with the letter ich. And that's hain, huer, hast. Hain means myself, self. Huer, I got something, huer me. And then hast is yet. Again, that th is not sounded, okay? Ha ist, you'd think it'd be just an A. Again, ha ist. Your A to the U sound. G as in English, and everywhere it's like a K. So gav and gu. But here it's akum and marak. The G sounds like a K at the end. But the G softened is v, v. Gav, next to a strong vowel, but next to a slender vowel, ind, it becomes, gensi becomes mo yensi, mo yensi. Okay, Caroline, you're back with us. So, gensi, could you say that? Gensi and mo yensi. We're not hearing her, unfortunately. Okay.
She is on mute. You must press your unmute button, Caroline.
Thank
right.
you, Mark.
Okay, you got it right. So gensi,
Gensi,
mo yensi.
mo yensi.
Well done, Gleva. That's like what they say in Aberdeen, maganzi.
Maganzi.
Yeah, so that's come from Gaelic as well. So there you are. That's another thing. H disappears. H appears with your lenition. Very few words in Gaelic begin with the letter H. I think, in fact, there are only probably about 12 words that begin with the letter H. And most of them have come from English and been Gaelicized, if you can say that word, if you can make it that way.
Would we pronounce the H in that case, Myra?
Well, one example is neherig. Yes, herig.
Oh, so we say it. Okay.
All right, so you do pronounce the H in these sentences. Hurst is another place, which is St Kilda, the Gaelic for St Kilda. H-I-O-R-T, Hurst.
Oh, Hurst.
Now, L is another letter that doesn't lenite, as I've already said, but they're really, really strong letters, L, in Gaelic, because especially after strong broad vowels. So, V. All I want you to do is fill your cheeks up and go V, V, V. Well done. So, Vav, Voch, Vuch. Vav, Voch, Luch. Vav is a hand, Loch is a loch. Loch in English, but Voch in Gaelic. You see the difference? Loch, you're behind, your tongues go back that way, loch, but boch, you're forward. And buch is a mouse.
Luch.
Not luch. Lala, luch. Buch.
Luch.
That's it. Well done. I know that's a hard sound for a lot of you. That's okay. So I'm going to ask Pauline, try that.
Vav. Luch.
Buch.
Luch.
Buch.
Luch.
That's it. That's it. Fiona.
Lav, loch, luch,
Buch. Fatten your L. Go buch.
luch.
John.
Love, loch, luch,
Buch. Buch.
luch.
Caroline.
Love. Loch. Luch.
Buch. Well done. Clever. And Mark, give it a go.
Love, Loch, Luch.
Buch. You've been practicing somewhere. That's good. Well done.
Well, when you go at the end, it makes it easy.
Okay. So then we have, with the slender vowel though, it becomes lj. So lene and licht. The T sounds like a CH. So lene, L-Y, lj.
Licht.
Licht.
Licht. Licht.
Lj, lj, I-ch. Licht.
Leech. Leech.
No, it's a fatter L. It's lj.
Leech.
Lj.
Leech.
Leech. Can you say lichter?
Lichter.
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 Lichter or lichter?
Leech.
Can you see the difference in the sound where your tongue is? Lj, licht, lichter.
Lichter.
John, try it.
Lene,
And
Licht.
licht.
Licht. Licht.
Well, what's happening is that people are concentrating on the li, and then you're forgetting about the t being a ch. So licht.
Licht.
That's one to practice. That means porridge. There you go. There's another word for porridge, which is brochen, which is a lot easier to say. But
No porridge for you, John.
No porridge for you today. Okay. Can you try that, Mark? Lene and licht.
Yen, Yicht.
Well done. Yeah. There's a double L now in, as you were saying, million. which is gilje. Pauline,
Gilje.
well done. Yeah.
Gilje.
Fiona,
Gilje.
gilje. Gilje, gilje.
Gilje.
Eva. It does the night. So maher is mother. Again, a stress on the A, and the A grav, your mother is stressed out. Okay, maher.
Maher.
But
Maher.
then mo vaher. Mo vaher.
Vaher.
Just like BH, MH becomes like a V, so mo vaher.
Vaher.
That's quite easy, that one. I would think. N as in English, but next to a slender vowel, it goes NY, ny, niet. And the D like again a th, so niet,
Njet.
Niet.
niet, niet,
Njet.
niet.
Ah.
Yet.
Niet is a nest, bird's nest. And then unyan as an onion, unyan.
Unjan.
Niet.
That's an easy one for you. The double N, sometimes when you say the word, say for instance, biaum, that comes right through your nose. Hold as if you're holding your nose and you go biaum. Very nasal. Biaum.
Nja.
Biaum. Gleva. N sounds sometimes like an R in these words here. Kron, krok, kratan. Kron,
Kro.
krok,
Kro.
kratan.
Kraten.
Kratan. So kra is a nut that you eat, krok is a hill, and kratan is a cold. So ha kratan orom would be I have a cold. P as in English, pechjan. Pechjan.
It's
And sometimes you have this itch sound again, the silent lenition in front of the P for the word rope, which is rope. There's an itch sound in there between the O and the P, and you go rope,
Ropa.
rope.
Ropa. Ropa.
PH is an F sound. P lenited is an F sound. So pechjan becomes mo pechjan, which is a waistcoat. My waistcoat becomes mo pechjan.
Oh, fish.
Christian.
Pechjan. Pishak is a kitten.
Pishak.
Pishak. So then PH becomes an F. So mo pishak or do pishak, my kitten, your kitten. R as in English, just as we saw in this word rope. S as in English, sonne, which is content, which hopefully you are in this lesson. Or next to a slender vowel, S-E or S-I, it becomes sh. Shehgaj.
Shekash.
Shehgaj. How many times have you said, have you found your jacket? So shehgaj, jacket, shehgaj, your jacket, okay? Sheave is you plural, sheave. S to an I, or the word sheena, in fact, S-I-N-E in Gaelic, S-I grav N-E in Gaelic is sheena, and that's how you have the English version, S-H-E-E-N-A. That's how that comes about. But when you have lenition, you have to say mo hehgaj, and the S disappears. It's still in the spelling, but the S disappears. So mo hehgaj.
Mo hekkat.
Mo hehgaj. Leva.
Mo hekkat.
T is the same idea. T as in tie.
Okay.
Tuch. Now tie is a tie. Tuig is a house. With lenition, you miss out the T and you go mo high and mo hui. Mo high,
Hi.
mo hui.
Hey. Like, hui.
Mo high, mo hui.
Bohai,
The
bohai.
T before a slender vowel, though, becomes ch. So T to ni becomes chene. Or T, chene becomes mo henne, becomes my fire. Fire, to me, cheer, T-I gravar, is land. Mo here is my land. And T-E, chevik,
Che.
is a little female person, or it's a dram, which you deserve after listening to all these sounds. Chevik. Any questions about any of these? Hundreds probably. Yes, Mark?
I'll keep it quick, but my burning question is there ever a difference in sound between DH and DH and GH? Are those sounds identical?
They sound identical. So yes, they are. They're more or less it's g and g.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, DH, for instance, I'll give you yachi, it's DH,
Yeah.
and garig is GH, garden.
They sound similar to me.
Yes,
Like
they
the
do
like the
sound
French
similar.
r.
Okay.
Gar. Gar.
So GH is a g, and DH is a g.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.